Hello friends, welcome to my channel Igno Center. So friends, we have here now dealing with MEG06 solve assignment, and I already provide you question number 1, 2 and 3. So here we will deal with question number 4 and question number 5, and this is MEG06 program for master degree in English, and this assignment will help for July 2022 and January 2023 session. The literature was American Literature MH06, and let me give you the question read which was given by IGNO. So we have dealt with question number 3 till now. If you are not watched our part 1 and part 2 video, you can watch there by going to video section. And now in this video we will going to deal with question number 4, which is write a short note on imaginism in Ezra Pound's poetry. Cite instance from his poem prescribed in your course. And the next question is write a critical note on the ideology of Puritanism reflected in American literature. So friends, today we will going to deal with these two questions, and here is our solve assignment PDF. So I want to say that if you are new to our channel, just make subscribe to our channel so that you will never miss any update. And if the video is helpful to you, please make subscribe to our channel. And also a request to you all that in the given description box you will get our vlog channel link, where you can see me vlogging beautiful places. So make subscribe to that channel too. Here give a eye on the question which I just read. So here we're going to deal with question number 4 and 5. So let's move to our questions and answers. So friends, here is our today's question, and the question is write a note on imaginism in Ezra Pound's poetry. Cite instance from his poem prescribed in your course. And the answer for this question is around 1912, Pound helped to create the movement he called Imaginism, which marked the end of his early poetic style. In remarks first recorded in the March 1913 poetry and later collected in his literary essay as a retrospect, Pound explained his new literary direction. Imaginism combined the creation of an image, which he defined as an intellectual and emotional complex in an instant of time, or an interpretative metaphor, with rigorous requirements for writing. About this requirement, Pound was concerned but insistent. Number 1. Direct treatment of the thing, whether subjective or objective. Number 2. To use absolutely no words that did not contribute to the presentation. Number 3. As recording rhythm, to compose in sequence of the musical phrase, not in sequence of a metronome. These criteria meant number 1. To carefully observe and describe phenomena, whether emotion, sensation, or concrete entities, and to avoid vacuum, generalized ties, or abstractions. Pound wanted explicit rendering, be it of external nature of emotion and proclaimed a strong disbelief in abstract and general statement as a means of conveying one thought to other. 2. To avoid poetic diction in favor of the spoken language and to condense content, expressing it as consciously and precisely as possible. Number 3. To reject conventional metrical forms in favor of individualized condescends. Each poem's declared sound have a rhythm which correspond exactly to the emotion or set of emotion to be expressed. The original imagist group include Just Pound, H.D. Hilda Doolittle, Richard Eldington, Evans Flint, and later William Carlos William. American poet Emmy Lovell also adopted the term, contributing one poem to the 1940 anthology Des Imagines, edited by Pound. In following year, Lovell sponsored her own anthologies that Pound thought did not meet his imagist standard, and wishing to dissociate himself from what he derisively called imagism, he changed term image to vortex, and imagism is vortism. Writing in the Fortnightly Review of September 1, 1914, Pound expanded his definition of the image, a radiant node or cluster. It is what I can and must perforce call a vortex, from which and thought which ideas are constantly rushing, as a much more comprehensive aesthetic principle. Vortism also extends into visual art and music, thus including such artists as the Englishman Wyndham Lewis and Henri Gautier Bouresca, a French sculptor. So friends, we have completed question number 4 now, and I want to say that if you are new to our channel, make subscribe to our channel, and in the given description box you will get a link of my blog channel. Please make subscribe to these too. So friends, let's move to question number 5 now. So the question is, write a critical note on the ideology of Puritanism reflected in American literature. So the answer for this question is, while writing about the Puritan migration, the historian Francis Jennings has written so-called settlement of America was a resettlement, reoccupation of land made waste by the diseases and demoralization introduced by the newcomers. However, the emergence of Puritans as the hegemonic American ideology is only partially explained by the destruction and obliteration of the old culture of the New World by the new immigrants from the Old World. The Puritans took joy and pleasure inviting their experience and recording the adventure in the New York. Certainly, John Winthrop was not the only one making notes of his every adventure and experience on the alien land. The Puritan considered the ability to write as a symbol of civilized European traveler. This writing idol include Indians, Celts, African and Aboriginals, and treats them harshly, or they do not include them at all. The Puritan treatments of these people can be very well understood by the following paragraphs taken from William Bradford's of Plymouth Plantation, written in 1638 to 46, published 1857. Those that escaped the fire were slain with saw, some hewed to pieces, others run through with their rapiers, so as they were quickly dispatched. Very few escaped. It was a fearful sight to see them thus frying in the fire, and the stream of blood quenching the same, and horrible was the second and 20th day of, but the victory seems the sweet sacrifice, and they gave the prayers thereof to God, who had wrought so wonderfully for them, thus to enclose their enemies in their hand, and gave them so speedy a victory over so proud and insulting an enemy. What's clear from the passage is that, in spite of his protestation about sordidness of the massacre, Bradford applauds the saying of the native Indians. But this is not that. The real shock comes from the candidness of Puritans theologian Curtin Mather's writing of the genocide. He writes it was supposed that no less than 600 Pequot souls were brought down to hell that day. In Bradford's writing and all other such writing, there are two motives which flows throughout the text. The first motive is that when Puritans came to America, the America was a thoroughly savage, that the place was entirely uninhabitable and therefore uninhabited, and the second motive is that the America had nothing to do with Europe, whatever it was, to become dependent completely on the wishes of the Puritans. While writing the America, Bradford said that before the Puritans arrived in America, the landscape was so wild that no civilized person would have ever encountered such wildness. He continues, if they look upon them, they were the mighty ocean which they passed, and which was known a main bar engulfed, separate them from all the civil part of the world. While talking to his first readers, that is, the children of the next generation, he says, our fathers were Englishmen, which came over this great ocean, and were ready to perish in this wilderness. But they cried out the Lord, and heard the voice, and looked on their adversity. What Beresford is actually doing is that he is consciously inventing a historical tradition in his book. According to Myra G. Helen, it proposes are some fundamental terms of organizing the experience of colonization. Some of these terms proposed by Bradford books are redefinition of wilderness and civilization and the opposition between them. There is an ambiguity in the explanation and the definition of both these terms. Wilderness, on one hand, is something which is without any trace of cultivation, and on the other hand, is and because of its untouched character that has the great potential for expectational construction. In the same way, the civilization which had been left by the Puritans forever was suggestive of great composition, but at the same time, it was also an oddity of destructive of viciousness. The final impression of the Bruford book is not that of a contrast between the polarities of civilization and wilderness. There is a courteous resemblance in the situation where they are not like antithetical emblem rather they are more like mirror images. Puritans did not leave mind an antithetical good when they first stepped onto the new world, rather they left another kind of evil, and the complaints they made about absence of towns, inns, or houses in the new world does not advance any solution, rather it only measures the problem. The emergence of Puritanism and the hegemonic American ideology is the result of the exhortation of the plate and elite that it was they who found America as inscribed in their numerous chronicles, such as the Search. So, friends, till here we have completed all our questions related to MG06 and hope this was helpful to you all. And just be sure to click the subscribe button if it was helpful to you all, as I'm not asking any money to you all, and I have just make this video in a day, and I have given much more time to this, so I have just asked you for a subscribe, so please make it, and thank you.